So it's that time of the month again where I'm going to go through what the Greyhawk community has produced, both on DM's Guild and Patreon and anywhere else I can find it. Today on Greyhawk Ragnar. Okay, my usual disclaimer, I have not received any of these for free in return for a review or anything like that. I've bought all but one with my own money. We'll get there in a sec. I just want to shine a spotlight on what's available, what the community is producing. So that said, let's get going. So first up, we have the DP1, the City of Schwartzenbruin by Derek Long and Delchris Games LLC. This is the first in a series to come on Perrinland, which is a really cool area of Greyhawk that's kind of like Switzerland, which of course, Gary's family was Swiss, so he put a lot of attention into this particular area. The first up is the City of Schwartzenbruin, which is the capital city of it. It's a 68-page long PDF. It's $9.99. And in there you get all kinds of crazy stuff. There's the demographics and the politics and the places and persons of interest. There's factions like the merchant houses and the thieves guild. That's really cool because the merchant houses are going to be really important in a place like Perrinland. They've got a cult of Nerul, and Wee Joss is in there, and Encabulus. The adventuring in the city. They've got different, ideas for adventures and stuff. There's some uh, 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 crunchy stuff, as they put it in here, for bastions, which is a new rule in the 2024 rules. New classes and domains and circles and stuff like that for character classes. There's a whole slew of encounter tables, which is really cool for in and around the city. And then there's a couple of maps. There's a map of the city itself, and there's a sort of an area map that shows the region. So all in all, it's really well done. I've never really seen anyone focus on Perrinland like this. I hope as they go through this series, we'll get a little more information on their mercenary companies, which they are famed for, sending out these mercenary companies, kind of like Switzerland did in the Middle Ages, which is a nice touch. I'm looking for more from Derek L, I guess, and Derek Long, and the art within is looks like it's all public domain with maybe a couple of exceptions. There's some Shutterstock stuff in there, but most of it is like famous paintings and wood cuts and stuff like that. So it's all good. No AI that I could detect. So anyway, do get this one if you're anywhere near Perrinland in your campaign. It's going to be really handy, and I'm looking forward to seeing more from this group. All right, next up we have Dark Heart, an adventure for third to fourth level heroes in the Gnarly Forest by Christopher Hamwell, who we've seen before here. This is a 22-page PDF for $2.95, and basically the PCs are sent into the Gnarly Forest to deal with a treant who has gone berserk. Which is it's a nice little nice idea, and it's done very well. It's got art by Eric von Darknoir, and Dyson Logos did the maps, and Christopher Hamwell wrote it. So it is got the full color interior, lots of art. Apparently, it's got a real artist, so there you go. It's a neat little adventure, and you get a lot for $2.95. So if you're doing stuff in the Gnarly Forest, and if you've got a campaign set in the city of Greyhawk, or if you're doing Temple of Elemental Evil, you could very easily stick this in there because it's right on your doorstep. And if you wanted to give your players a little break of what they're doing, this would be a great way to do it. So 295, 22 pages, can't beat it. Raleigh Forest, love it. So this has got to be a thumbs up. Next up, we have Greyhawk's Dungeons Volume 1, The Stone Hand, a fourth level dungeon by David Quattrini. The file says it's 3 pages, but the adventure itself is 1 page. There's a page of maps, and then there's a pretty plain cover and the legal stuff on its own page. So it's a treat it like a one-page dungeon plus a page of maps. It uses dice and logos for the maps, and it's basically a dungeon shaped like a big hand. So it's pretty bare bones. Obviously they attach this to Big B because hands and Big B. It's let's see, it's got looks like it's got 5 rooms in it. So like I say, it's a page, but it's only 50 cents, and you could stick this pretty much anywhere you want in Greyhawk. You could put it pretty much anywhere else too, and it's a page, but it's 50 cents, so it's a neat little thing, and you don't see a lot of adventures for uh, low to mid level characters like this. So that's kind of a plus on its sale. But it's probably not an entire evening to finish this, honestly. But you could probably beef it up or attach it to something else, and maybe have a wilderness adventure on the way to it, and you could really turn it into a nice evening's jaunt. So there you go, Stonehand, David Petrini. Next up, we have The Arm of Kwalish by Troy Alleman, Samuel Dillon, and Sam McNurin. It says that the artists are Dan Smith, Joey Dosel, Sved Farmwa, Fred Begun, Panagira. Okay. So this is a 41-page PDF, which is $3 on DM's Guild, and you're going on a quest to the lost island of Kwalish, who's a famous artificer, and it's a lot of constructs and mechanical things and stuff such like that, automatons and stuff. It's a really looks really cool. I haven't run it obviously yet, but it does look very very cool. And I'm a sucker for Kwalish. I loved the Kwalish's Lost Laboratory that WotC put out a few years ago for a charity fundraiser, and this one is very cool too. It seems to uh, go off of the original polish from the earliest days of the game, and this is it's just very very cool stuff. It's got plenty of art, plenty of maps. The inside looks gorgeous, and for $3, you can't really go wrong for a 41-page thing. So definitely get this. It's worth it, and it looks like it's a very cool adventure. Hi everybody. Please help me keep Greyhawk alive by liking this video and subscribing. It really does help. You can also become a member of the channel or support me on Patreon and get early access to my videos, exclusive content, free or at cost copies of my Greyheim Adventures modules, and more. Thanks, and now back to the show. And last but not least, on the DM's Guild, we have 3E Player's Handbook Deities. Now, this is a little deviation from what I normally do because I have not purchased this myself. These are STL files to 3D print holy symbols for a bunch of Greyhawk deities, which is a wonderful idea. I just don't do 3D printing, so I didn't buy it. But I did look at the preview, and it really looks cool. Like you could actually hand your player character who's a cleric, you can actually give them a holy symbol of like Farlangen or Alona or whatever. So it's very cool. If you're doing the 3D printing thing, this is probably going to be a really really cool thing for you. And I wish I could do it here, but I've tried 3D printing and I suck at it, and I don't know how to get any better. So anyway, if you're into 3D printing and you're into Greyhawk, this is a very very cool idea. And last but not least, we have Brassblood Haunt by Carlos Lysing, an adventure for character levels 1 through 3. This is a Greyhawk adjacent work. It is. It does not use the actual names of the places in Greyhawk, but if you squint, you can figure out where it's supposed to be. And it is by Castle Entertainment. A ruined castle with an unspeakable past rises from the pastoral countryside of the kingdom of Fiorindi, shunned for centuries for its bloody legacy. Its silhouette upon the peaceful nation's horizon is a reminder of ancient terrors left long a slumber. And your heroes descend beneath the stones of the raised fortress and learn the secrets of Brassblood Haunt. Um, the module comes with a bunch of pre-generated characters because this has been run at conventions. I'm very sure. and it's got a bunch of really cool maps. It's a pretty thick module, which is really nice. And all of Carlos's stuff is always top notch. So I will just I can't recommend him or his stuff highly enough. So do check it out. As always, link will be below. Now we're going to switch over to Patreon because a lot of Patreon creators are out there who specialize in Greyhawk, and I want to expand this series out to include them. First up, we have the Greyhawk Project, which is William Henry Dvorak, and he came out with two items in the last couple of weeks. The first is the Scarlet Brotherhood / Order Hit Squad. This is both for Shadow Dark OSR and for 5e. There's stats for both in there. And it's a 10-page PDF, which you can grab for free. And it basically details what a Scarlet Brotherhood assassination squad would look like. The composition of a hit squad, how spellcasters are treated, non-magical equipment, tactics, and then it gives stats for the typical agents and the different members of the hit squad. So if you're going to be using the Scarlet Brotherhood, this is a really great idea, and you can just drop these in. And again, it's for Shadow Dark or 5e. And the other thing he had was Ulan Star, the tent city of the Paynims. And this is another really cool one. This is, as it says, it is basically the Paynims are nomadic Backloonish tribes, and they gather in this ginormous tent city, and this details it. It's 13 pages long. It is again a free download on his Patreon. So I encourage you to grab it, and if you like what you see, I encourage you to sign up for his Patreon because it's always nice to give back to people who are giving. It gives myths and legends of the city, gives it like a background of the city, how it migrates, the structure, how it's governed, the trade and economy, how it's got a system of barter mechanics, which is really cool. It's got a couple of adventure hooks and stat blocks for Pain and Warriors from the city. Again, it is for either Shadow Dark or 5e. And it's either one of these is really cool, and I highly recommend his stuff. He's a stalwart of the community, and he's producing some really cool things. So do check him out. Next up, we have Oerth Odysseys, which is an interesting Patreon. They make mats and battle mats and so forth. And generally, they will give you a low res version of the map or whatever for free. And then if you are a supporter, you can get the high res maps with or without grids and stuff. So that's they let you see what's available, and if you really want it, you can become a supporter. First thing is Diamond Lake, which was originally in Dungeon 124. There is the Abandoned Home, which was originally in Dragon 333 as part of the Age of Worms thing. There's the Feral Dog Tavern, which is another location in Diamond Lake, the town. There's the Whispering Cairn, which is in Dungeon Magazine 124. And again, this is the low res. You can get the high res and another post. And then there's Safeton. He's got a beautiful full color map of Safeton, which is a town on the Wild Coast. It uses some of Anna Meyer's heraldry, which is always good to see people using Anna stuff. And I'm not sure if this is a low res, high res situation because there's not another link in here. But if you're going to use Safeton on the Wild Coast, this is a really cool map, and I would encourage you to get it. So there we go for the Oerth Odysseys. Next up, we have Greyhawk Reborn. Greyhawk Reborn is a living campaign which is set in the Kaoland region, and they're very active here in the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic. I see them at cons all the time around here, so it's kind of trying to revive the whole living Greyhawk experience. And they've come out with their 2025 campaign guide, which basically tells you how you're supposed to roll up characters and how when you get equipment, how that works and so forth. Because it's a living campaign, so you can bring your stuff with you from con to con and game to game. So this is the update for the latest version of the rules, 5e, because um, that's what they want to use. So that's what you got. And it's got a conversion document too, so you can convert your characters from the old version to the new using, within the living Greyhawk, within the living campaign experience. So there's all kinds of rules about magic items and stuff like that, and that all has to be consistent because it's all going to be transferable. So if you're anywhere around here, or if you're just interested to see how they've structured their living campaign, this could be very interesting to you. So I recommend it. And there we have it. That's what I've been able to find for the Greyhawk community in the first half of February. Hope you're having all a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will talk to you all later. Thanks for watching today's video. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Below you'll find links to my Patreon, which helps make these videos possible. You'll also find the web store where you can buy my books, and my blog where you'll find all sorts of free downloads and other articles. Thanks, and have a great day.